Greetings, this is the Shadow Man. So right now there is a horrible case going on in United Kingdom where parents are fighting the government doctors and highly biased towards family values, family court to save their child. Both government doctors and highly criminal family judges really want to take this child with a rare condition off the life support system, while there is an experimental treatment available that can help, and parents already raised enough money to afford that treatment in the United States. But both doctors and judges don't want to be proven wrong and are looking for excuses to kill the child. If there wasn't so much media attention for this case, the plug would have been pulled long ago. For the first time, the whole world is able to see how extremely rotten the family court system in UK really is. By the way, not only in UK, this is all across the West. The same thing. Signed into law, by the way, by the pedophile protector, Margaret Thatcher. I have been following articles about this court, which are often referred as courts of protection, secretive courts, for several years now, and only one journalist really dares to write about the horror stories that come out of those courts, and that is Christopher Booker from the Daily Telegraph. I highly suggest you look up his articles. I want to focus on one article of his that has direct link to this horrible case, and that involves a judge who is leading the hearing and pretty much has to decide if the child lives on or will be sentenced to death. Justice Francis. In January 2017, Christopher Booker wrote an article about the family courts and included an action of this judge. I'm now quoting the article. I was introduced to another case where our judge was going even further. A Nigerian supermarket cashier living with her Romanian husband and their two small children was reported to police and social workers by her former husband for having disciplined her loved 11-year-old daughter with a belt. The social workers immediately seized her other two children, whom she had never harmed in any way. Their father saw an opportunity to escape with them to Romania, where he and his family are now looking after them. But this didn't go down well in Britain. Just before Christmas, Mr. Justice Francis ruled that unless the mother bought tickets for the children to be flown back to England within 4 days, she would go to prison. Her passport having been confiscated, she could not buy ticket herself but sent money for the father to buy them in Romania. Since the children are well cared for, and Romanian social workers have reported that there are no grounds for concern, the court's wishes have not been met. On December 22nd, the judge would have jailed the mother, but for the fact that she had sought leave to appeal, another judge has now put a stay on her sentencing until this is resolved. Her only wish is to rejoin her family in Romania, but she still fears that before that she may have to spend time in one of our overcrowded prisons for contempt of court. There is no offense the family courts take more seriously. Why? As I have often asked before, when children have been removed safely and happily to a new life abroad, where the authorities have no concerns over them and over their welfare, are our courts so desperate to drag them back at huge expense to state care in Britain? It's a puzzle which there can be no plausible answer. End quote. So this disgusting excuse of a judge simply started blackmailing and intimidating the mother. And surprise, surprise, this vile creature did the same thing today by threatening to jail critics of court experts if they don't back off. This shows that this judge pretty much has its mind set on pulling the plug just to avoid any chance of being proven wrong in the future. And this makes this judge and many of his colleagues completely unfit to do the job. But unfortunately, most politicians in UK keep their mouth shut because they want to keep the illusion of fair and independent courts in place. And because of this, judges can behave however they like, since there is no one to check them. Only one UK politician stuck his neck out, and that's Nigel Farage, and I deeply respect him for that. I hope this case will bring down the highly corrupt UK family courts, and the child will get the treatment he deserves. Regardless of what decision you're rooting for, this case has shown one thing to be true. You are owned by the state from birth. This was the Shadow Man. Thank you for listening.